Louis Christie.
Nigel Thomas, musician. I know not about music. Teach me.
Death.
What?
Death, Louis. It's
What?
everywhere and it's coming for you.
Well, that is true. I mean, we're all hurtling towards our deaths eventually.
You are probably quicker than me, I'd say. Just by looking at you, as a... I'm no doctor, but yeah, I think...
Well,
are you frightened of death? Are you frightened of dying, Louis? Because you are going... Louis Christie, are going to die. One day someone's going to say, oh, have you seen Louis recently? No. Why not? He's dead. That will be happening.
Well, at least people are going to be asking about me, because when you die...
No, it'll be your mum or someone.
I mean, traditionally, mums die before.
Exactly. But the tragedy is not always, Louis. So are you frightened of dying?
I think I've made peace with the concept of my own mortality.
That's good.
Are you?
No, I think I'm all right. I think you've got to have a good death, don't you? Like a good, peaceful death. You don't want to die painfully, do you? Or there's an old Bob Monkhouse joke, isn't there?
Go on.
You know that one? So he said, I want to die like my grandfather, peacefully in his sleep, not screaming like all his passengers.
Very good.
Yeah. That's an oldie.
Yeah, old jokes. That's it. Right. So this podcast is all about music. What's the theme of the podcast, and why are we talking about death?
Well, there's been a lot of death going on, generally, and there's so this podcast is about musicians who died this year.
There is a thing. I've actually just thought you're rambling. Okay, musicians who died this year.
Yeah.
Good.
So
right.
all of these are going to be musicians who've died this year.
Okay.
They're all very famous musicians, so I'm sure you'll get the song and you'll spot it straight away, and I'm very excited for you to tell me why you love these famous musicians and their songs.
Okay.
Yeah? And they've all died this year. Music Natters!
This might be hard, because that means they're probably older, or they're druggies.
And you don't like older or drug musicians, do you? They're all young, drug-free musicians for you, Louis.
I was a big Kurt Cobain Nirvana fan back in the day. Nothing wrong with dying a rock star death.
Yeah.
I heard a thing that apparently, people say, why does it feel like more famous people are dying in the recent years? And it turns out that's because there are, because like TV was only invented in the 60s or whatever. So no, that's
like
factually
30s,
wrong, isn't it?
30s.
But anyway, you know what I mean. But say if you were on telly in the 30s, you might be dying around now, and so there's that there is sort of more famous people dying. Yeah.
I think as you get older, you know more famous people, don't you? And so you recognise more famous names. And so it feels more...
Oh.
You know who also died today?
I don't know.
Rolf Harris. So it's not all bad. It's not all bad.
Good. Glad we got a paedophile reference in right early.
Some deaths can be good.
We were trying to cut down on those in this podcast, but you've done it already within the first, what are we in, 5 minutes? Great.
Yeah, 3 minutes.
Let's play a tune.
Let's play a tune. This first one is a wonderful track by someone who died this year, Louis, and I'd love to know what you think about it.
Okay.